Hey guys, what's going on? Brandon here from Backseat Banter. I am joined with Ben,
Yep.
and today we are going to be discussing some pretty breaking news. Le'Veon Bell just got released by the New York Jets.
Wait, before
Um,
we go on, I just
yes.
wanted not to cut you off. We told the Jets fans that we're excited for Adam Gase. Um, that don't be excited. This is what you deserve for being excited for Adam Gase. This is
Well,
exactly what you deserve.
listen, Adam Gase, I think, has proven not to be a good head coach. I think, honestly, though, I think what really kind of maybe set Le'Veon off and maybe pushed for either a trade or a release was the fact that um, he that Jamal Adams was traded to the Seahawks, and that was one of the
Yeah.
main recruiters to get him to the Jets, and now he's gone because Jamal Adams asked for a trade. I think that was the main reason. I mean, and the Jets also too. I that was just a weird fit for me.
Yeah.
Um,
They vastly underutilized him.
yeah, and their pass attack, the passing game isn't that great as well. So it was very interesting, especially with him. You know, he can run the ball very well. We see him do that, but he's also very good pass option as a running back as well. So it's interesting to see. But now since he got released, now is the sweepstakes. I mean, we've already covered a few sweepstakes. The Allen Robinson and the Devontae Freeman one. Now it is the Le'Veon Bell one. In my opinion, maybe a more notable name. Um, Obviously because of his time in like Pittsburgh, and obviously the issues he had in Pittsburgh and their dealings, sitting out for a year because he didn't want to be on a tenure.
Right.
Um, he also signed with the Jets on a big deal, and through 18 games got paid 28 million. Listen, I'd sit on the Jets and get paid 2 million. Like I'd sit on the Jets and get paid. Like I mean, what am I gonna do on the
Easiest
Jets?
job in
Nothing.
sports.
I'll probably be the best player on the Jets, in my opinion. But no, let's keep rolling here though. So there
James
are
Morgan though.
Hey, James Morgan. If Flacco gets injured, James Morgan's a great option at quarterback. But we're not here to talk about my favorite quarterback in the NFL right now. We're here to talk about Le'Veon Bell and the potential options that he can go towards now that he is released. It's be interesting to see like what team does sign him, just because he might command a big money contract, just because it is Le'Veon Bell and you're gonna be paying for the Le'Veon Bell name. Ben, you got anything for me?
I'm gonna go with one that I think is somewhat plausible. I don't know their salary situation, but Philadelphia, as we've seen for the past couple of years, it's just really been some random guys off of the practice squad for the wide receiver. And as we said before, he's a very good passing back. So I think it's another option for Carson Wentz, and I think personally that's a great option for him. He's going to a team that has some struggles, and I think Miles Sanders, for as good as he is, isn't going to be that same passing option for Wentz that Le'Veon Bell could be. So I think that's probably a good destination for him.
Right. And it's interesting because Miles Sanders is a decent running back. I feel like he's one of the better running backs we have in the league.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how he fits though, because I think he'll probably fit well. Not gonna lie, in Philadelphia. I mean, they have a strong offensive line. Obviously, they have Carson Wentz. I mean, he's starting to look better ish. The passing game still isn't there, and Le'Veon can now be maybe an option for them as well. My pick, and one of the teams I really think so, if he really wants to contend, I would think it would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, I think that's the easy option to go with. I think the Chiefs are missing Kareem Hunt. I mean, they did pick up Hilaire. I think Damian Williams is sitting out for the season. But and they have Daryl Williams as well. But I think and yeah, it might be a bigger stretch than maybe, let's say, um, maybe him going to Buffalo or another team we're going to be talking about later, or other teams. Maybe he goes to Seattle or something like that and joins up with Jamal Adams. Like that'd be very interesting to see. But I mean, it could be an option. But I think for me, I think it's Kansas City, and I think. I mean, Hilaire has done well for a rookie, and he's done he's done exceptionally well as a rookie. So I don't see why he can't do well as a player, do well under Le'Veon. It's gonna lighten the load for him as well, and I think again it's just gonna be another option for Pat Mahomes to throw the ball to because I think especially on screens, and I mean Andy Reid maybe utilizes more wide receiver screens for Tyreek Hill, but now you have Le'Veon Bell that you can throw to on a wide receiver screen, and he could take off. I mean they kind of ran that more so when they had Kareem Hunt because Kareem Hunt was another speed demon, but Le'Veon could definitely pick up a few yards for me. So I think the favorite team for me has to be the Kansas City Chiefs, but there are other options out there. We mentioned a few. Ben, do you see him going to any other team?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different options. I think you actually said one which I think would really help out Josh Allen, and I think that's Buffalo. I think look, they already have a really good running back core. Yet they have Devin Singletary and Zach Moss, so take this with a pinch of salt.
Right.
But
that would be a fantastic running back. Singletary has been having a great year. Zach Moss is doing really well as well, and just adding, especially going to a division rival as well, like that'd be the biggest like FU, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I think for that sake, especially with Josh Allen being able to throw the deep ball, and he is a good, the deep ball as he's overthrown a lot of people many times.
Yeah.
But you could see that fit could work. I think the one thing everyone has to take into consideration when talking about this is the cap, because we don't know how much he's going to ask for.
Right.
Look, he might do a sign on one up deal like Leonard Fournette did and improve his work.
Devontae Freeman.
Or Devonta Freeman. And I think with that, or he might do a Jadeveon Clowney and just say, no, I'm worth this much, and you're gonna pay me this much to be on your team. So I think it'll be very interesting to see. Very interesting if he goes to Buffalo. Now I know you said division rival.
Oh God. It's not gonna be.
No, wait. There's a lot of stuff that has to work out for this to happen, but this is what could happen. So Jonathan Zaslow, if you don't know, he's a part of the Dan Le Batard show. He said, "Tell me one reason why Le'Veon Bell should not go to the Dolphins," and really he's making a good point. Myles Gaskin has had a good year for someone who a lot of people thought would be practice squad. He's having a really, really good year this year, but Le'Veon Bell could take a lot of the load off of him. And then you look at someone like, oh well, they have Matt Breida and Jordan Howard. They haven't played Matt Breida all that much, and Jordan Howard is looking like he might get cut for some reason. And I think if they can pull the trigger on this Le'Veon Bell deal, it could work. It could work. Then again, if he's going to go after if he's going to go after a team that's going to contend, he's not going to go to Miami. But Miami's building a good offensive line. Their rookies are really showing. Their O-line rookies are really showing out this year. Especially Eric Flowers doesn't get enough love. I think he's played really well this year as well. So I think Miami, there is some stuff that has to somewhat get into place, but they are playing the Jets next week, and you said it would be an FU. This would be an FU too if he has the game of his life against the Jets.
Right. Listen, I think so too. They're playing the Jets next week. I thought they had back-to-back games.
No, they moved it because of COVID.
Oh, okay. Got you. So that sucks. So we actually might see Tua next week. I think one team here, and it could be more of like an X Factor type team, in my opinion, and not so much so a team that, listen, we're talking about more contender teams with the Bills and the Chiefs here, but I think one team that we have to bring up is the Steelers, in the sense that the Steelers, listen, there were a lot of bridges burnt. I don't see him going back, but James Conner for the past couple seasons has been a little bit injury prone. So there's that. But Juju really likes him. I think it could work out if Juju turns to management and said, "Listen, like get him. Like I think he'll be a great squad, great player to have back." I think Big Ben would. I don't think Big Ben had issues with him. I think it was more so with Antonio Brown. So I think Roethlisberger would say, "Yeah, sign him." I think that's one, and I think Tomlin would also want him back as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, listen, and Steelers still have a great offensive line, and coupled with the fact that they have one of the better defenses in the league, or one of the best defenses in the league, I think it also shows that listen, they're undefeated for a reason.
Yeah, they're a
Like,
force.
so, and Roethlisberger is looking like he's having somewhat of a comeback year after missing it with elbow shoulder. I think it was elbow. Yeah, I think it was elbow, like an elbow injury. I think it's really showing that Roethlisberger can step up and do well, but it has to be said. It has to be put out there. The other team for me, and Ben, I'll let you pick up on another team as well. The Bears. Nick Foles has always done well with a passing running back, and this is what he will throw to you. Plus, you add him with Robinson, David Montgomery, Tariq Cohen as well. Like they have a slew of options on offense that they can throw to, and the 10 tight ends that they have. I mean, Jimmy Graham is honestly looking all right. Like he's not terrible. And their defense has always been kind of good as well. I mean, ever since they picked up Khalil Mack, their defense has always been good. So that could be another option for them. Ben, is there any last team that you think he could go to?
I just want to comment a little bit on the Steelers. I don't think if Juju goes, I think if goes to manager, I think if Big Ben goes to management, because we've seen how much sway he has in that organization. I think if it's him that goes to management and says, "Get this guy right now. I want to play with him. I want to play with him again." Then I think it's a higher chance. It's a lot to ask for, but I wouldn't put it past the Steelers to do something like this.
Right.
And with Chicago, I really like that pick. I think it's great. I think it's a great shout. Give your quarterback that is coming and kind of learning the offense now even more weapons to throw to, because he's Nick Foles is very prone to kind of somewhat check down, so it's really good to have someone who's an elite pass running back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's great. I just kind of want to wrap this up and say a quote that Pat McAfee said, basically just quoting him. Somehow he's gonna find a way to Tampa Bay. So, somehow.
I don't think so, but
I don't think so either. But then again, Leonard Fournette
I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't put it past. He would sign up this one up thing like when Antonio Brown did. He signed this one up thing with Tampa Bay, and they go on and they win the Super Bowl, and it's just, I don't know, it's a little infuriating to think about that, but I think it might work. I think that it could happen.
Yeah. But listen, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I don't see. There's other teams, like maybe you can make the case for the Raiders as well. I mean, that could be a good team because, I mean, listen, they dismantled the Chiefs the other week on defense, and Derek Carr is looking, and Henry Ruggs, that connection is looking really good. Henry Ruggs was being compared as another Tyreek Hill. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't think of it. I was thinking Cohen. I was gonna say Cohen for some reason. Tyreek Hill. And so he looks like he could really so that could be another connection. But listen, there's a slew of teams that are probably interested in for him. We just named 5 or 6 for you. Let us know what you think though. Like, what team would out of the 6, what team would be the best fit for him? Or if you think there's another team involved, let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Backseat Banter. And go check out our podcast. Links are going to be in the description below. Backseat Banter, or where the links will be for Google Podcasts, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. But wherever you listen to podcasts, just make sure you look us up and leave us a rating if you do enjoy our content as well. But again, make sure you like and subscribe. Let us know what you think, where Le'Veon could potentially end up at. And yeah. I'll see you guys later. Ben, anything else you want to say to the beautiful people?
I called the Henry Ruggs in week 2, so Nostradamus right here. But yeah, take care.
No,
And
straight, you're an
backseat-
idiot. All right.
Backseat out.